Hey YouTube, Will from DailyJailbreaks here, and today we have a special video, and we will be replacing my iPod Touch screen with a red digitizer. If you guys don't know what a digitizer is, it is a red screen. Alright, we got the bowl for the screws we're going to have, we got our opening tools, we got a little suction cup thing, we got our screwdrivers that I've had before, we have, here's the package. And we got one little extra thing in the top left, that's this adhesive. So I'm going to open up the package here and we're going to see what we got. Alright, so right now we open up, look at that, we got more tools on top of that. I guess we won't use those, I guess we'll just use the ones we have so far. Alright, so we got two things here. We got the box that has the digitizer probably. Oh, nothing left. And we have the the note that the seller gave us. Alright, now let's see the box. The box has an R up top. That stands for the red right there. Sorry about that. And we'll open up, and there it is, the red digitizer. And it's in bubble wrap, and it's nice and protected. And here's some more adhesive that we're going to be using to connect the iPod Touch to the digitizer. So that's what it's going to look like when we put it on. And here, I'll take it out of the little slip right there, and there it is. So again, we're going to be replacing the iPod Touch with the black digitizer to the red digitizer. Alright guys, so what I'm going to show you, we just took off the screen protector that we had on before, and we're going to take a blow dryer to heat up the sides so we can melt some of the adhesive that is holding the iPod and the digitizer together. So right now I'm using an X-Acto knife to help pry open the iPod Touch. We got a guitar pick that came with the tools, and we're going to hold it open. So now we got two guitar picks inside the iPod Touch, and so now we just opened up the iPod and we're going to take a look on the inside. So underneath we have a metal plate that is holding down the motherboard, and it is also protecting the motherboard. It is held down by 8 screws that I'm going to be unscrewing right here. So we're going to fast forward this video throughout the entire video just to make it go by a little bit quicker, because this was a long process of getting this whole iPod taken apart and put back together. At this point in the video, we removed the metal plate and we are exposed to the motherboard. Now we are going to remove the motherboard out of its casing, which is pretty tough, and you want to be very careful when doing this, because if you ruin the motherboard, you can destroy the iPod. So underneath, if you guys can see the little cable right there, what I'm removing right now, it's hard to see, but that is where the digitizer is being held onto. So we got off the digitizer, and now I am putting on the new digitizer right here, the red digitizer. We're going to slow this part down to normal speed just to show you guys how difficult it took. It was really hard to do this part because you had to connect the iPod or the digitizer to the iPod or motherboard through this one little connector that was very hard to see because it's underneath the motherboard, and this was very difficult. So now we have put back the metal plate, since we put back the new digitizer, and we are going to screw it back down with the 8 screws that we took it out with. This was also pretty difficult for us to do just because it was hard to put everything back in place where it began, and the screws were really small, and it was difficult to get them back in without stripping the screw or ruining the motherboard. Alright, now I'm going to show you the 8 holes that we have to put the screws back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And just to let you guys know how hard this was, each screw was different for each hole. Alright, so now we're on to the part where we put on the adhesive. This was also a little difficult because the adhesive had 2 sides to it, and it was hard to get off the paper side because it was I guess it was kind of old, and it was hard to take apart. So we are putting the iPod, or that we're removing the adhesive paper part from the adhesive, so that we expose the sticky side so that the iPod digitizer can stick to that. So now we're going to the bottom part, and we're also going to remove the paper side. Also, to let you guys know, this whole entire process of removing the iPod Touch digitizer, taking all the screws off, removing all the parts and screws and stuff like that, this whole entire process took us about an hour to an hour and a half, just letting you guys know. Alright, so now we'll remove the paper from the digitizer, and we are going to attach the digitizer with the little connector that is right underneath my finger. It's really tough to see because it's really small, and it's underneath the digitizer, which makes it even harder to see. This is even one of the hardest parts of this entire process. So now we put it back on, and we have the iPod Touch with the red digitizer. Now I'm going to show you that the touchscreen works, the microphone works as I speak right here, the camera works right out here. The camera works, the front facing and back facing camera work, and really that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Also, we have a Instagram account, so if you guys want to follow us there, go ahead and follow us there. Our account name is DailyJailbreaks, and you can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Click the video above to see our last video on 3 Tweak Friday, number 13 in our series. Hope to see you guys in the next video.